Hey, welcome to Man of God Podcast. My name is Joshua Palmore.
I'm Jay Dos Santos.
Hey, listen, we are very excited. I want to say this is extremely exciting. You put actually a post on Facebook about what we're going to be talking about this week, and we got an amazing response, and I was actually shocked of the response that we got. You want to respond to that?
No, I was shocked too. I didn't expect anybody really to be interested in my background, but hey, that's good.
Yeah, man. We got somebody fresh, man. So hey, we love it. That means that you got to be doing something right for people to be excited about you. So yes, most definitely. So today, this is the topic. We're going to be talking about George, man. So we're very excited. Man, so tell us something about you.
My name is George Dos Santos. I was born in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Okay.
From Brazil to New York. Now currently in Florida. I did go to Arizona. They lived in Arizona for a little bit. Yeah.
So tell me about the village that you're from.
I'm from Campo Grande, Vasconcelos. This is a small area, part of, it's not even part of the city because we're far away from the city, by the mountainside.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that was a beautiful place?
It's an amazing place. Oh, yeah. Behind us is the mountains, so you get the natural fruits, you get the mangoes, you get all the, kind of rainforest kind of style.
Nice, man. Nice. So now tell me about the community. How was it growing up in that village?
It was nice. Everybody's friendly. Everybody knows everybody. Like I said, it's like, to go down that street, and it's a dead end, too, because towards up that road is like, it's the mountain. And if you go up there, you go at your own risk, too. Because a lot of times, I didn't talk about this before, but a lot of times you go down that streets, they put holes in the street, and they were covered with leaves and stuff like that. So any truck drivers, any delivery truck they rob them.
Wow.
Because they fall in the hole, they get stuck. And they're going. I remember that as a kid. Yeah.
Wow, this is quite different from what we
talked about. This because I was gonna put, send something for later, later on. So.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. But as far as the general rule, would you say that the village is a place where community come together? You guys look out for each other? Would you say?
Yeah, we know we all have our own homes, but it's like, if we need something, we ask each other, hey, can I borrow this? Can I borrow that? If someone has a party, we'll go and find a reason to have a party too. So
right.
You join the fun. You know what I mean? Bring something into the party.
Okay.
But yeah.
Awesome. So tell me about your upbringing. Do you have any siblings or?
No brothers, no sister.
So you're only child.
No mother, yep.
So how was that coming up?
It was good, but it has its challenges. Being that my mother, didn't really raise me, because she was always having to go to work and having to drop me with this one, having to drop me with that one. So it was a little difficult for her.
Gotcha.
But it was challenging for me as well because it's I felt the love, but it's like, I didn't feel that motherly kind of that presence there.
Gotcha. Because she had to work so much.
Because she has to work so much. Correct. Not even mother, I called her. I call her by her first name because of the surrounding.
Wow. I mean, but that's totally understandable.
Yeah.
And how would you say that affected you?
I never thought about it, how it affected me badly, because I was concerned, like, after I grew, got older and understanding.
Right.
I thought more about how it affect her.
Gotcha.
When I having a son, not being, not calling her mother. But again, when someone took us in, growing up, someone she was working with took us in. Her son called her mother, so I therefore started calling her mother as well, like, because that's what he called her.
Gotcha. Okay.
I always heard somebody else saying Anna, because my mother's name is Anna.
Yes.
But I didn't have that, that another child calling her mom, so I wouldn't learn from.
Okay. Now, did you think that it affected you in the way that it made you more independent?
I think it did, but to this day, I find myself alone a lot. So I don't mind spending time by myself. I get creative in my alone time. So, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Awesome, man. That's good to know, because I just want to just say that you are an independent person, and I think that most definitely it has this plus sides, most definitely, because not having to depend on people for your every move, you're very resourceful, and so I think that most definitely has done that. So that's a great thing, man.
That's one thing for me. Yeah, I don't depend on anybody else for anything, really.
Yeah, most definitely. I know you don't. No, me been knowing you the little bit of time that I do know. Yeah, I know you don't play, man. So yeah, so if you most definitely reach out to somebody, then it's most definitely real and genuine,
right,
and it's good that you know that you have that. It's better to have it than to not have it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's good, man.
Better to need it, not have it. Better to have it, not need it,
Yep.
need it, than not have it.
Well, I'm glad you said it because I wasn't gonna tie my tongue up with that one. So I'm
Yeah.
glad you went ahead and did that for me. It was in my mind, but I wasn't gonna try it.
That was one of my favorites.
Okay.
Right there.
well, thank God
Better
for
to
you.
have it, not need it, need it, and not have
And
it.
most definitely, and
That's
and that's very true.
Right.
All right, so tell us something about, because I do know that you moved to the States, and so I
Mhm.
want to know. Tell me the level of difficulty that it would take to move from Brazil to the States.
Well, being that we came up here so young, so I didn't know what it took, but I couldn't tell right now from today. Acquiring a visa is very difficult. Today might be a little easier. You know what I mean? If you have the funds, it's always about the funds because you having a connection. It's a lot of moving around, a lot of traveling going on. Knowing this one person, knowing that person. Because when we came here, my aunt did have a connection in Brazil. So everything for the money at the time, the money from here in the U.S. was big over there, so it wasn't that costly, I would say. It wasn't that expensive as it is today.
Gotcha.
So she managed to make that happen, you know what I'm saying? And I'm thankful for her, but all that, but it is difficult because you won't see black Brazilians, my complexion running around through Disney World seasonal. When you go to Disney, you see the majority are, light-skinned Brazilian, white Brazilian. And in Brazil, racism is a lot worse in Brazil than it is here.
Really?
Yes, very much so.
Wow. Now I know it was present, but I didn't know it was
Yeah.
worse.
And it's more forward, more in your face, too.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And I can vouch for what you said. I've actually been to Disney. I actually have stayed in resorts where actually some Brazilians own the entire resort.
Oh, yeah. If you've been in Disney and you've seen some Brazilian, you only seen white Brazilians.
Very true. The ones I've seen, actually, yeah, that's
There's
crazy.
a community in Orlando, too. Then there's a lot of construction workers pretty much lined up, going to work every morning. I used to see them on 7-Eleven, Brazilians. And I looked around to see if I saw one black guy, not one.
Right. Wow.
Not one. And when I meet a Brazilian out here, though, they ask me, how did I get here? When did I get here? That's the first question that comes to their mind.
Wow.
Because you don't see them, for somebody to come here, they got to have money.
Okay.
They got to have money.
Yeah, most
what I mean?
definitely. Well, I thank God that God connects me to a rich black Brazilian. So
We ain't got no money. We ain't had no money. We're talking the 80s now.
He probably stashing it, y'all. So we'll take that. But listen, so of course when you left Brazil, where did you go? Where's the first place that you left when you went?
Queens, New York.
Queens, New York. Okay.
Queens, New York. Grew up 120th Street, South Ozone Park.
Okay.
Some call it South Jamaica. Some call it Jamaica, Queens. Some call it, Lethbridge, Queens, New York.
Okay. Cool. So of course your language that you learned in Brazil, of course, Portuguese. So how many languages do you know now?
I speak, three. Portuguese being my first language. I learned Spanish first, and then I learned English.
Okay, awesome. So you have 3 languages under your belt. And he does also speak patois too. We ain't gonna mess with him right now about that.
Don't mess with me with that, man.
but yeah, most definitely he have the culture, and I think that's awesome. So tell me about your experiences, because I know, how old were you when you moved to the States?
I was 8 years old.
Okay,
between the 7 or 8,
absolutely. Yeah, we're not gonna tag you on verb specifics, but yeah, that's cool.
About 86, 1986. So that's good times.
Yeah,
the 90s was even a better time.
Wow.
So that's when I was really enjoying it. But yeah.
Okay, cool. So being that you came from there, how was school?
Now that's another challenge itself. Being that I didn't communicate, threw me a class with 30, 40 something students, and the teacher didn't got a time of day for one person, especially that don't speak English. So I was thrown into the special ed.
Wow.
Instead of bilingual. Instead of recognizing they thought that he doesn't speak, he needs special ed. It's not that I didn't speak, it's just that I didn't understand what y'all was saying. So I'm going to be making noises to you guys. So yeah.
Right. That's funny.
So they threw me in special ed instead of bilingual class.
Most definitely. That's crazy, and that's crazy because that does happen a lot. Labeling.
It goes on today. My
man.
wife is in education, she's a guidance counselor, and she tells me it goes on, a lot.
Awesome, man. So most definitely. So now after that challenge, because I know that culture and stuff is different. So can you tell me the difference of the culture in Brazil as opposed to the States?
Well, we're very cultural over there. We are over here. How can I say? We have a mixture of different cultures. I've said it before. We have a mixture of different cultures. Only one. I don't think America has their culture has been brought in from other places. Its own culture. Because it's always been more of a a financial country, finance. Everything's about money over here. I don't think they have had the time to really build a culture because it was always so focused on, on finances and,
Right.
and building something or building something great,
Right.
But our homes back home, our culture is our people, we do for others, we help others, and we create this community that is all about the people. You know what I mean? It's always had that, and sometimes we lose track of that. We chasing money, end up losing track of that. So we have the carnivals. You know what I'm saying? We have these festivals. Capoeira. We talked about that before. We have the capoeira that we sit down and celebrate. So instead of just going to the gym, instead of just going to karate, we got capoeira school. We got carnival school also that you can go do. So it's just a big culture thing, and there's also a lot of it comes from like you remind you of Africa, like with the feathers, with the colorful clothing,
Right.
all of that. So yeah,
Okay, cool.
it's exciting.
And so for some of them that don't know, could you explain capoeira for me just a little bit so they understand what it is?
Capoeira is a mixture of dancing and fighting. Some call it martial arts. And what it is back in the slavery times, the slaves were not allowed to learn how to fight, so they had to incorporate fight into their dance moves. So when the masters look out the window, see what they were doing, they were just dancing, but actually they were, practicing martial arts.
Wow. And if anybody have ever seen that before, it's quite something to see. And I think that's awesome, man, because I am myself a culture nut, so I love to learn about different cultures, man. And so I think it's awesome, and I've enjoyed learning so much. Even one of the hobbies that you have, and I'll let you talk about your hobbies. So let's talk about the things that you like to do.
Yeah, I'm always been a hobbyist, from skateboarding, skateboarding, inline skating, snowboarding. I tried a little bit of everything, and roller hockey, anything pretty much I could put my hands on, I'll give it a try. But then I go above and beyond, like, with the drones, I created the whole community with the drone over here. The whole FPV thing came out, when the drone became a big scene. So I didn't just I didn't just go out and flew for myself. I created a whole community and brought other people's in,
Right, and I want to make sure they understand you actually have the ability to build the drone.
Yes, I actually build the solder, everything, understanding, or configuration, orientations, put the solder the motors in, the speed controllers, all of that, and yeah.
Right, he's most definitely a builder, and I can actually say from learning about you, as much as I do know, that you are a person of community. You draw people together. Even just thinking about people who we know personally, is you the one that takes the initiative and say, "Hey, y'all, let's kick it." Let's get together. And I think that's a positive thing, man. And I admire that. Because my nature sometimes, absolutely, bro. Because sometimes my nature may be like, nah.
A lot of people are like that.
Yes,
a lot of people. But I grew up singing that. But I was always the one. I sit around like, I'll be like, hey, y'all come over here. Let's
right.
Because we sit here not talking about nothing. Well, it's three of us who made your idea. Let's get together. Let's do something. And I've always been that way, man.
Wow.
I've always been that way. Look at the chat, we talked about fellowship so many times. To the point, like last week, I'm just like, you know what? Let me just create a chat for us so we can all communicate together.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Instead of checking on this one to hang out, we're going to check on this one.
Right.
We all check on each other.
Let's
we all accountability together.
Right. And I love that. And it's funny because I do that for the spiritual side. Like we have like the ministers, we'll do a chat. The men department have their own chat. And so we will do that type of thing. So we actually have that in common. And I think that's awesome. Because you never know how many people you're really helping, man. So that's an awesome quality for you to have. Now, I want to make us laugh a little bit because you have a hobby that you did not talk about that I'm ready to actually beat you in. And that's the kites flying.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that because that's interesting.
Yeah. So that's another culture thing too.
Yes.
Growing up as kids in Brazil, even the adults, it's big with the adults. There's kite fighting competition in Brazil. So, that's a totally different ball game there. Bamboos and silk paper. You know what I mean? And it's in fact India that they have the same thing. They call it batang.
Okay.
It's a different kind of kite, but it's the same idea. You crush glass to powderize. I mean, you crush it to the point that it's powderized. So, you put it in a can. We used to put it in a can or anything like a sardine can. Right. Put the glass in there and beat it. When you take it out, it's powderized and it doesn't even cut. But when you mix it with a certain kind of glue and we put it on a string, and then we put it on the sky. We pretty much kind of combat back and forth by crossing each other's line, try to cut it.
That's absolutely amazing.
It's awesome, you know.
Most definitely.
It's pretty. It's a little. It's hard to imagine it, but I'll probably put a little image in the video so they can get on.
And man, absolutely, man. Listen, I don't know much about it, but I have the anointing, so I know I can knock your flag down. I'm just telling you. So whenever you're ready,
it's fun. It's fun. Yeah. It goes both ways. It's it's one of those things. It takes sort of skills, but sometimes luck, have its way too.
Well, yeah, man, it's always good to have fun, man. And I just think that once again, community is so important, and it's good that you're raised that way, and it just happens to align yourself with the body of Christ. And so I think that's awesome, man. So listen, man. Well, listen, we are done with part 1. Listen, if you have any questions or any comments that you want to make, put it right at the bottom of this video. If you have any concerns or anything of that nature, listen, because we are on this guy. We're going to be on him for a little bit, man. I have enjoyed this. And we're getting ready for part 2, man. So, hey, you want to say anything before we close out this part 1?
Just thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate all the concerns and all the love and all the interest that you guys want to know about me.
Yes, because
that means a lot.
Yes, and please know we're digging in. We just part 1, but we're going to get into some serious stuff. So, hey, man, I'm very excited. I am. Yeah, that's what we're going to do most definitely. All right, y'all, have a good one.